Morning, welcome back to the cabin. Hope you've had a nice week. We certainly have. We've had a busy week actually. There's been a lot going on around here, so we've got quite a bit to catch you up on. So I think last you saw of us, maybe, we'd just taken on the challenge of repainting the ceiling, and I think you probably saw the very first primer layer go on, and it looked shocking. It looked absolutely awful. So we put on this layer of like sealant stuff, that weird yellowy stuff, and then a layer of proper primer, and then 2 layers of top coat. So last week, Malin surprised me by painting the entire ceiling on her own. I'd taken the kids out ice skating and got back, and she met me in the door looking extremely sheepish. With a face like covered in paint and like working clothes on, and she painted the entire ceiling, like done an entire layer on her own. Now, painting a ceiling is a pain in the arse anyway, but painting a ceiling with panels is like 3 times the job, because you've obviously got to go first with the brush in all of the grooves and then follow it up with the roller. So it's like a triple job. But yeah, she smashed it and did a whole layer on her own. And it looks fantastic. So it's since had a second layer of top coat after that, and now it's done. And touch wood, it looks brilliant. It looks solid, no bits of flaky paint. It seems like we've done it the right way this time. So the other thing that you probably saw last week is the wall behind me being painted this terracotta colour. That's got 2 layers on now. We're so happy with that. We've also been doing the window frames. They've been painted white, apart from the actual windows themselves, because in order for them to dry, it needs to be 10 degrees. And at the moment, it is not 10 degrees, let me tell you that. It's about -10. So we can't paint the actual windows until probably the spring. But we've done the frames around it and stuff. We've also had a fantastic idea. Well, I say we. Malin's had a fantastic idea. She's seen an idea online of painting the skirting the same colour as the walls. So Malin painted the frame for that little small window over there yesterday, and yeah, I've held it up and it looks really, really nice. So I think that is her plan when she gets back. I think she's going to carry on with those. I'm really curious to see how that looks. I think it's going to be really, really good, actually, to be honest. We have been prepping this other wall over here, this ugly, disgusting yellow wall behind me. We've been starting the prep work for that. So we've taken down all of the cables that go along the outside. Obviously, like I said last week, we've got cables that sit on the outside of the walls. So we took all them down. We've took the door frames off ours and the kids' rooms, so they're ready to go. Ignore the Halloween paintings that we've still got up that the kids did. Ghosts or bananas, whichever that is. And then Angry Pumpkin. That's been up there for months. So that's prepped, all the skirting's down, and yeah, I think next step we're going to do these windows, and then it's ready for painter's wallpaper and a layer of paint. And then it feels like we've really, really cracked on after that, I think. Somebody mentioned last week that we've made it really hard for ourselves by taking off all of the cables that run on the outside of the walls. Yes, we have made it hard for ourselves. Absolutely, that is the case. You absolutely can just mask them and paint up to them. However, we want to redo all the skirting completely. It was very, very basic skirting. It looked sort of like it had just been put there because they needed skirting. It wasn't really any sort of style. So my idea is I'm going to try and find some skirting where you can hide the cables inside. I've seen a couple of them. I just need to price them up because I've got a little feeling they might be slightly outside our budget. But hopefully we can find something similar to that, and then it's like 2 birds with 1 stone. We can hide the cables and make the skirting really nice all around. So that is where we are with the renovation update. We've still got quite a bit to do in the kitchen, finishing off bits, stuff like the skirting up there as well, the bits on top of the cupboards and the kickboards and stuff like that. But like we said last week, we want to crack on with the big stuff. I don't know if there's any logic behind it, but it somehow feels like we want to get everything, the whole place, up to like 80% done. Instead of like finishing one room before you move on to the next. I don't know. Both me and Malin have got like oddly functioning logic centres in our brains, I think. That's what we're doing anyway, deal with it, all right. But my next task for the day involves being outside in the cold. So I'll meet you out there. So, have to admit, I wasn't 100% planning on doing this today because I've done my back in. I don't know what I've done. Yesterday, I did something to my back and I am currently 1,000 years old. So if you see me walking funny, that's why. However, this is a necessity at the moment. I don't know if I've mentioned, but it is bloody freezing here. When I got home yesterday, it was minus 13. Minus 13. What are we doing? Like, literally, this time last year, we were on a beach in Tenerife. It was like 25 degrees. What are we doing? What are we doing? It also coincides, I might have mentioned this as well, it also coincides with energy prices in Sweden being, without exaggeration, extortionate at the minute. Stupid. Sort it out, Eon. Not happy. So this has actually come at a really, really nice time for us. Some kind soul has donated some wood for us, which is really nice. It's actually like construction wood. But because it's in quite short lengths, it's actually more used to us as firewood right now. We have some trees up there in our forest that need clearing out, but that is obviously a job for the spring, and the firewood's not going to be good until next winter anyway. So we've been looking at buying a big stack of firewood. And you know, for a country that is 90% forest, firewood is so expensive here. So, like I said, this has come at a really nice time. It's untreated construction woods. Completely untreated, completely dry, which is good. So, the idea is I'm going to go and get my nice little saw out. I'm going to shift all this stuff and I'm going to cut them down to nice lengths that will fit in our little fireplace, if my back allows me to do that. I'm going to take it nice and easy. And we'll hope for the best. See what happens. Close.
It didn't take more than a second for you to turn the whole world upside down. Turn this big boat back around. Had you been watching and waiting from some place up above, somehow knowing in this place, all these people, I'll find love.
Empty wheelbarrow, box for inside, and then got a little storage now at least. So with the rate that we're burning through at the minute, hopefully that'll last us till about the end of the week. Knackered now though. I think I'm going to go in, sit down and have a little cup of tea.
A few moments later.
So in my haste, I forgot that we still had a load more wood in the van, obviously. I went down to lock the van up, saw that there was like the same amount again in the van, obviously. So I've sorted all that out now, which is good. I also stacked it up a little bit nicer. So we have actually got a pretty decent stock now. Also in my haste, I forgot that in the shed, we had a bloody mitre saw, didn't we? like a chop saw. So yeah, if I'd remembered that from the beginning, it would have taken me about a quarter of the time and effort. But hey, where's the fun in that? But that's sorted at least. And now I'm going to go in and have that cup of tea. I'll see you in a bit.
All right, I think that Tom walked you through a bit what we've been doing, because last time we saw you, it was not this tidy in this house. So over the weekend, I painted the ceiling when Tom and the kids went to go ice skating, and then Tom did another layer the day after, and then we did like a massive tidy in this house, because the dust from when we sanded the ceiling was everywhere. So we did like a proper clean out, because obviously we had tidied like 45 times before, but if you don't get all the dust away, it just flies around and it's everywhere again. So took everything out, all the plastic, everything, and I think I mopped like 4 or 5 times to get everything away, like wiped all the walls, wiped like everything. So now it feels a little bit nicer in here at least. I think that Tom might have shown you as well that I painted the windows, and now I am gonna do the skirtings around the big window. I've already painted the little ones that I'm gonna put up in a minute, but I thought if I get these painted now, I can do it again before Tom and the kids get back from school, because it's only like 2 hours dry time on this paint, so that would be nice. I don't know, we got so many like little things that we can just like check off the to-do list, so I'm thinking I'm going to try and do as many as possible while I'm on my own today. I do also got a meeting in a couple of hours, but I'm thinking I'm going to paint these, put up the skirtings, maybe see if I can find the screws to put up the radiator that is now just leaning against the wall. Can't remember what else. I got a massive list. I got a big man's list. But yeah, let's start painting so I can get 2 layers of this done before they get back. So we're gonna do these skirtings in the same color as the wall, like the terracotta one, because I think it's gonna look really good. I don't know, I got a vision that's seen on Pinterest. And I think it's gonna look really good. But if you don't, then I don't know, just to repaint it. It's not harder than that, is it? Yeah, I think it would be good. I'll try it. I feel like we are so ready for spring now. We had a couple of days of sunshine. It was still like -12 outside, but that sunshine, it tricks you into thinking like spring is coming, and then it's just mid of Feb, and it's so many months left of darkness. I feel like it's starting to get to us in a different way now. We said all along that we miss traveling and weather, but I feel like we've realized how much winter in Sweden is triggering our traumas. Like we're both feeling it, let's just say that. It takes you back to where we were 3 years ago. It makes you really thankful, but it's also so much that we have not actually dealt with that comes into our heads when it's this time of year. It's been a lot easier dealing with it on a beach in Tenerife, let's just say that. What do you say? Just because you carry it well don't mean that it's not hard. All of that bullshit. Also had one of these pain episodes this week, which also throws us back to right where we were 3 years ago, and that this bullshit is not over, and all of these positive, happy thoughts that we got right now. But anyhow, let's not be negative about life. You're still here. You're alive. You're somewhat healthy. No, but what I'm trying to say is that we are going through some shit in our heads right now, and therefore it might not be the same energy on the videos at the moment, but we're getting there. And I know there's a lot of you who keeps asking how health is and all of these bits, and we've just decided that it's not really what we want to talk about on here. Like, we're gonna give you updates if it's anything big, but like, it is things basically every week that's going on, and updates and all of this, but we just feel like that's not what we want to make videos about. It's not our whole personalities. Like, it's 3 years since we went through the treatment now, and yes, we still go through it and we're still dealing with stuff, both physically and mentally, but we're trying to have a different focus on life. So we do apologize if you're here because you want updates on health, because they're not really coming that often. But we're still getting through it, and that's just life. I think it's a lot of people who thinks that just because you don't talk about it, it's all over and done with, and life is back to normal. But you know, life's never normal after this. But we try to not dig ourselves into a hole. We try and focus on the happy, positive stuff. Oh, I just realised that you obviously gonna see the sides as well. Or do you? Yeah, you do. You idiot. Oh, stupid. How am I gonna do this then? Alright, one layer done. Check. Let's go out and see if I can find the nails so I can put these up. Alright, I think I got some. I think almost that they look a little big. I can't use any smaller ones because then you're obviously not gonna hold it up. And hopefully I can get these to stay up with just these, so I don't have to use bigger ones, because I would prefer not to use bigger ones. But let's try it. Let's see what we can do. I do have to... Oh, light stopped working. I was just gonna say, I do have to apologize for the lighting in this household, because we don't got any electricity of this part of the house, so we don't really got any lights, and it's really hard to work when you don't got any lights. And it's really hard for you guys to see what I'm doing if I don't got any lights. But now the battery died of that as well, so I am sorry, but you have to deal with this. Does it matter what's up and down? Don't say anything, as long as it fits, I guess. Or I don't think it matters, and if it does, then I'll just have to redo it, I guess. Obviously we are reusing the old skirtings, which means that I'm putting nails into like the old holes. And now when I'm putting the nails in, I'm like, why do you need so many? I am sure that I did not use this many for when I did the kids' room. It looks a bit silly on such a small place that you got so many nails in. I'm wondering, can you like paint a bit on them to make the nails look less ugly? Or is that going to make it uglier? I feel like I wanted it to be like, wow, it looks so good. And I don't know if it does. I still do think that I love the fact that the wall is the same paint as the skirting. I just think that the skirting don't look great. The window don't look great. The nails look too big. Do you think it will look ugly if you paint over the nails? I got a feeling that it will do, but I wanted to love it. I wanted it to go up and be like, yes, finally, one thing that looks nice and is done. Now it's just done. And looks a bit half shitty. I don't know. I'm disappointed. I am disappointed. Alright, let's see if I can find the screws to put this radiator up while I am doing stuff. So, here's my little thing. The screws from stuff that were removed from this wall. And Tom thinks it's these ones, the flathead ones. But we don't want to use flatheads to start with. Because Tom, don't ask me why, I just know that Tom swears a lot when it's a flathead one. So we're not gonna be reusing them. But we also got these that is not flatted. Like they're the same length, but these flatted ones are a little bit thicker. And I don't know which ones it is that came from the radiator, but when I look at the holes over here, let's see if you can see anything when we get to here. No, you can't see, but I feel like there's not really a chance that these came from that, or is it? These feel a lot more like reasonable compared to the hole. But then, obviously, I get anxious that I'm going to put it up with 2 small screws, and then it falls off and ruins the wall and the radiator and everything. I also just want to do it. I hate not feeling like I can do stuff on my own. I hate the feeling of like, oh, do I have to ring and ask somebody which one it is? And then they don't know. They just go, oh, I don't know, try it. And then I try it when I could just try it to start with. Like, how hard is stuff really? But then I get into my head and then I think, it is really hard and you got no idea what you're doing. Like, I mean, if I try it, because I'm gonna put the rails up, if I feel like these are too small, then I just go out and see if I can find any bigger. That's what I'm gonna do, because I don't have to put the radiator on, because it's when the weight goes on that it's gonna fuck up. Try it. We'll just try it. Oh, so much space everywhere in this household. Oh my god. First we need a drill. Screwdriver? It's not a screwdriver. But is it a drill when I'm not drilling? I'm screwing. What do I know? There you go. And then we need the rails and we need the screws. Okay, let's see. That needs to go in there. Is this the wrong way then? No, this is the right way. Well, I'm just trying to screw on it, so it don't really matter. Oh my god. What a nice working position this is, eh? Oh shit. Oh, why? Oh, it's gonna be very fucking hard apparently. Alright, in the kids' room, this one is not even used. One in the top one and one in the bottom. So, should we do that? See if we can get this on as well then. And then you just lift this way. Alright. Radiator is up on a wall. I'm gonna do it like this now, and then I'm just gonna have Tom double check it when he gets home, and hopefully he'll be alright. Well deserved cup of coffee. I got about half an hour till my meeting. I think I'm gonna start on the next window and sand that, take the skirtings off and stuff. But first, a cup of coffee. I feel like it's going very slow here at the moment. At the same time as it's not. Like if we look back to 2 weeks ago, if I look back on the videos 2 weeks ago, we had not even started with the ceiling again. We had not painted these walls. It's quite a lot that's happened the last few weeks, but it still feels like we're going in slow motion. But to be fair, it's also a lot that's going on in real life and not just renovation life. So I guess that's just how it has to be sometimes. I also feel like I get into my own head a bit too much at the moment, just because it is going really slow. I'm so scared of doing something wrong and like wrecking something, and then we have to go out and buy new stuff and start over or whatever. So then I get a bit scared and then I stop doing stuff. So today I am going against that. I'm going against my own head, and I am just doing stuff and hoping that it will be alright. So what if something happens? Like, it's just to redo it. It's not harder than that, is it? You just need to get out of your own headspace a bit. So, checked off that window, the radiator. I've painted this skirting behind me, but they're obviously on the floor. And then I'm going to start on the next window. But I do feel like it's about time to say thank you for this week, though, to be honest. And you get to see what I'm doing more next week. I would like to say thank you to everybody who's been ordering from the shop. We've sent out quite a few orders the last few weeks, and it's so exciting, it's so fun. And we love the fact that you want to go on to our little website and order our handmade stuff and the stuff that we designed. It's so exciting, it's such a nice feeling. So thank you everybody who's placed the order, and if you fancy having a little peek around and see if there's anything that you would like, then head over to malinandtom.com. I'll leave the link in the description for you. And also a massive thank you to all the channel members. Every week we are growing, and honestly it means the world to us. So thank you so much. If you're a member, you are golden. But alright, hopefully next week we will have started with the painter's wallpapers. We're hoping to do that this weekend, and just other bits and bobs. We're hoping to be able to check off quite a few of these little things, just to make it feel like we're going forward a bit. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see what we get up to next week, and follow along on the renovations. So we'll see you then. Bye!
Welcome back to the... got no fucking battery. Whee! Welcome back to... bit my tongue. What the fuck, man? Stupid.
Oh. 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 Oh my god. Oh. Oh, motherfucker.